I don't eat meat and haven't for 5 or 6 years. It's just something I feel extremely strongly about. I don't make exceptions for it ever, regardless of how hungry I am, etc. At the same time, I do not judge anyone who does choose to eat meat around me, nor do I dictate what type of restaurant, bar, my friends want to go to when we are out together. Vegetarian options are super widely available, so it's always a non-issue. That being said, I respect other people's choices for what they want to eat, and I expect the same in return. I was out drinking with my close friends and one of them, we'll call him Ryan, offered me a leftover egg roll from his meal. I asked him if there was any meat in it, and he said no. I took a bite of it and again clarified with him, asking if he was sure. Ryan is well aware that I don't eat meat. Again, he told me no. Immediately after I finish eating the egg roll, Ryan gets this sick smirk on his face and tells me the egg roll had pork in it. Like he thought it was funny. I asked him why the hell he would lie about something like that knowing I'm a vegetarian, and he told me to chill out. We proceeded to get into a huge argument where he refused to apologize and kept insisting it wasn't a big deal. He was laughing about it and said I was overreacting about the whole thing. I told Ryan and our mutual friends that I don't want to be his friend anymore. I haven't spoken to him in over a month. Our mutual friends think I'm overreacting and that we should just move on, but Ryan still hasn't even really apologized and instead keeps downplaying what he did. I have never made my dietary choices in anyone else's business. I'm not annoying about it, I don't judge my friends for what they chose to eat. At the bare crapping minimum, I would appreciate it if they don't trick me into eating pork knowing damn well I'm a vegetarian. I could easily move on if it was a simple mistake, mistakes happen. It's just the fact that he did it seemingly so maliciously, and it really makes me have no interest in mending the friendship. I think what I'm so upset about is the blatant disrespect for what my clear boundaries are. Do you guys think I'm the idiot for staying pissed about this? Not the idiot. He needs to apologize. He thinks he's the big I am for making a vegetarian eat meat. He's actually a rude idiot who doesn't show respect to his supposed friends. That said, you might need to let it go and let this friendship fizzle out, as he doesn't seem keen to recognize the problems in his behavior. Not the idiot. Don't let the friend group guilt you. It's easier on them if you sweep it under the rug because then they keep both of you. But personally, I'd rather have friends who have my back when someone has mistreated me. Not the idiot. Lying about what's in food is an idiot move and can have deadly consequences if someone is allergic. Screw him, you're better off without an idiot like him. The saying with friends like him, who needs enemies, comes to mind. My friend bought this special office chair that molds to the person that uses it. This chair is supposed to be really good for your back, but the arms wouldn't fit under his desk. He knew I didn't like my current office chair because it was uncomfortable and rickety, so he gave the chair to me. I replaced my office chair with it, and I've really been enjoying it. I think it's helped my posture a lot. I did notice later that certain areas were getting flatter, less form-fitting, and uncomfortable. I actually had to stop using it because it sort of hurt. I thought maybe someone else had been using it, so I asked my sister since we are the only ones that use the office. She said she has and that it really helped her back since she's been getting back pains lately. I explained how the chair seat and back change form when other people use it and asked her not to use it anymore because it was hurting me. I then put the chair in the corner so it could hopefully go back to its normal shape like the website said it would after a couple days of not using it. A couple weeks go by and I notice that the cushion is still compressed. I thought maybe my sister was still using it. I decided to put it in my room since the office is getting turned into a nursery anyway. The next day I notice that there are drag marks on my bedroom carpet leading to the chair. I talked to my sister about it again and she says she needs it more since she works from home all day and I just use it while I'm drawing or playing games. I also use it while doing my schoolwork. My parents also think I need to let her use it because of her circumstances and say I should just use her chair, but her chair is just as bad as my old one. I told them she should just buy a better chair for herself since she has a job, but they just said it was too expensive and they all need to save the money for her baby and I need to contribute too. I feel like, since I have to give up my time to do all the heavy-duty chores now by myself, I shouldn't have to give up my stuff too. So I went and got a steering wheel lock and put it on the arms of the chair so she couldn't use it without the key. She went absolutely ballistic, threw the chair on the ground, and now I'm grounded until I apologize and let her use the chair again. Holy hell, not the idiot. Might get downvoted for this, but your sister's pregnancy does not entitle her to such tantrums. First of all, it's your property since your friend gave it to you. You've established that it's starting to hurt you when she keeps trying to use it, but she's continuously crossed the line by going behind your back to use it. Preparing for a baby is a hard financial and physical situation for a lot of people, but it does not justify her throwing the chair. I know this won't be the popular opinion here, but I'm going with everyone's the idiot here. Your sister sounds entitled, and she shouldn't lie to you. It's your chair, and you can technically do with it what you want. But it also sounds like you can show a bit more empathy and let her use the chair for a while. She won't be pregnant forever, it's not a permanent thing. You mentioned that according to the manufacturer, the chair will reset after a few days of not being used, so she can return it when her back is no longer hurting, presumably when the baby is born. It does sound like she needs it more than you right now, and she is your sister after all. Pregnancy can be tough, and if little things like this can help her out, why wouldn't you want to do that for her? Not the idiot. It's your chair. If she needs a comfy chair, then she should buy her own. Buying a chair to help with the mother's posture will help the baby, because the mom will be more fit to care for the baby, would it not? Use the baby money. I assume your parents live with you, since they are able to ground you, so why can't they just buy her a new chair, or give her yours, and buy you the new one, if the sister's comfort is so important to your mom? Just because she is pregnant doesn't mean she is entitled to other people's things. Common decency still exists. Mine and my sister's families are very close. Our kids are more like siblings than cousins. My eldest niece got engaged, and we were all thrilled for her. My daughter and I spent hours on the phone with her helping her with early wedding planning. My niece even mentioned to my daughter that she was having a hard time finding enough bridesmaids because many of her friends are pregnant. Then we all started finding out who my niece had chosen to be at the wedding party. Everyone in the family was included except for my daughter. My niece asked me and her two sisters to be bridesmaids, asked my son to be a groomsman, included her parents of course, and even asked my ex, who has been estranged from my side of the family since the divorce, to be the usher. She made a wedding website with photos, descriptions of all of the people at the wedding party. My daughter is the only one not on there. My niece didn't directly tell my daughter that she wasn't included. Instead, she created a text group with all of the women in our families, except for my daughter, to plan hair, makeup, etc. for the day of. My daughter was with me and my other nieces when we got the text and didn't have her phone on her, so she assumed she was included as well. Turns out she wasn't. When I reached out to my niece for clarification, she stated that my daughter was not going to be included. When I asked her if my daughter could at least get ready alongside us in the bridal suite, doing her own hair and makeup, my niece said no. Her exact words were there won't be any room for her. My daughter is understandably crushed and has no idea why she would be the only one not included. When she and my niece finally spoke about it, my niece wouldn't explain why she had done this or apologize. Her only words were, "It was my decision to make. I'm sorry that you feel upset about it. I hope you can get over it." I never saw my niece as a mean person, but I am questioning my view of her now. I don't want to participate in a wedding where my daughter has been singled out, excluded, for no real reason. I can't think of anything my daughter could have done to offend my niece. It seems that my niece can't come up with a single reason for excluding her either. When my niece asked me to be a bridesmaid, I didn't know that she was planning on asking everyone else in the family, except for my daughter. I wouldn't have accepted if I had known this. Am I the idiot if I tell my niece that I won't be able to fulfill my commitment as a bridesmaid and just attend as a guest? I've already posted this with my daughter, and she thinks that me and her brother should both still participate because she doesn't want to be blamed for our dropping out. If I do decide not to participate, I will be making it clear to my niece that it was 100% my decision to drop out because I feel personally disrespected that she would treat my daughter this way. I'm torn on how to handle this. Edit. Daughter is 22 and niece is 34. Not the idiot at all. The fact you are included pushes it there for me. If your whole family had just been guests, I'd say just go, but don't kill yourself getting a great gift. But this is a ridiculously strange omission. The fact both you and your daughter spoke to the bride means you're very reasonable. I'd be very uncomfortable in your position and would bow out. Not the idiot. If you're being forced to choose between your daughter and your niece, of course, you pick your daughter. Imagine her sitting at home alone on the day of. I understand niece can choose whoever she wants, but deliberately excluding one family member is pretty cruel, especially without an explanation or long-term blood feud. Be prepared for a lot of hurt feelings, which yours and your daughters already are. Niece is going to likely go crazy with anger, including your siblings, etc. It could potentially cause an enormous family feud, but still, your own child should always come before someone else's. You're the idiot. You might not know the full story, maybe something went down between the niece and your daughter, but they don't want to tell you for whatever reason. It's the bride's decision on who she wants at the wedding. The only reason I'm saying you're the idiot instead of no idiots is because you'd be backing out of a commitment you've already made. Hey everyone. I'll get right to it. I'm 29, live alone, don't rely on my parents for money, etc. My parents are usually great with one exception, they blab all of my personal information to my extended family, their friends, and whoever asks questions. I have told them many times that information like my mental health, illnesses, my relationship troubles, etc. I have tried not telling them, but they wear me down until I'm too mentally burned out to resist. I have told them multiple times that this is not acceptable, so communication is not the issue. On their next visit, I handed them a confidentiality agreement and said they could sign it, or all we would be engaging in is small talk. This agreement states that, if they tell anyone but their therapist about anything I tell them, they will be given 1 month of absolutely no contact. This was me setting a boundary in clear written terms in my opinion, since they didn't seem to understand it verbally. Mom started to cry and said they only told people things, so I could be supported. This is a lie as nobody has ever even sent a text of support in any of these situations. My dad called me an ungrateful crap and they left. Am I the idiot for clearly writing my privacy boundaries and expecting them to be followed? This sort of behavior has caused me so much pain in the past. Not the idiot. Sometimes you have to set boundaries and use clear language because people want to act as if they don't hear it. But I think it's also time to stop sharing your private matters with your parents, since they clearly don't respect your privacy. Everyone's the idiot here. First of all, of course, your parents. For not respecting your wishes and ignoring you in this regard. And then you. For putting this in writing. I mean, what the hell? If you don't want them to speak to people about certain information about you, just don't give them that info. You're the idiot. This is completely ridiculous. An NDA. Give me a break. And what kind of basement dwellers are on this thread? Defending this, talking about boundaries and one even telling OP to cut their family out of their lives. Don't any of you have healthy family relationships? Families talk, they gossip. It's normal. I manage my illness the best I can with the tools my many therapists have given me. So, you can skip the "you need to see a therapist" comments because I do. Seeing a therapist doesn't mean I'm automatically cured, you know. Anyway, about 3 weeks ago, me and my friends were at a park hanging out together catching up. Most of them were picnicking and sharing wine and all that jazz. I had one small glass of wine and prepackaged my food for the outing, as I literally always have done. It was a chickpea, avocado, cilantro salad wrap. Afterwards on the way home, people wanted to stop for ice cream. I stood to the side and let them do their thing and just got a black coffee to enjoy while they ate. This caused more issues, where the same people were telling me to relax and just enjoy myself. Then we came up to the subject of what our plans for the rest of the weekend were. I said I would be running and then catching up on some cleaning and then meal prepping. One of them asked me if I ever just say hell it and get a frozen pizza. I laughed and said not my thing, but I was making some BBQ chicken and cauliflower rice with roasted Brussels sprouts. She was like boring, and I finally got tired of the comments and said, yeah, it might be boring, but I'm not willing to risk relapsing. She got really quiet and then as everyone was leaving, she was like, hey, that was uncalled for. I was joking and you had to turn it into some big stupid thing about your eating disorder. Not cool. That stuff can be triggering for some people. I told her I didn't care if it wasn't cool, but that I also wasn't going to take being needled at and prickled at all day because she's insecure, and that she spends her time bragging about binge eating pizza and laying in bed watching TV all weekend, and that crap is triggering for me, but I've never said crap about it. She told me it wasn't the same and that I was making her anxious, and I said, hey, guess what, your comments about my food made me anxious as well. Except the difference is that I never comment on what you're eating, but you're always running your mouth about what I'm eating. Or not eating. She fought back that it wasn't the same and that I was being an idiot, that I should know how my eating disorder might make others uncomfortable and I shouldn't rub it in everyone's face and just calm down and eat a freaking ice cream cone once in a while. To which I told her, so you want me to eat one of my trigger foods just so you don't feel bad? You want me to end up with my face down a toilet throwing up everything I eat for the next 2 weeks just because you feel insecure? She told everyone that I made her feel bad about her weight. She's not even fat. She's skinnier than I am, like not even a body dysmorphia thing. She is literally 115 pounds to my 130, and I'm shorter than she is. Anyway, this is such stupid drama, but I feel like she's being freaking ridiculous. Not the idiot. Your friend's a major idiot. She spent all day needling you about your food choices, and you chose a fairly polite way of shutting it down, making it clear that her comments weren't helpful. She then doubled down on being an idiot to you and blaming you for her own issues. She needs to grow the hell up. Not the idiot. Good for you. It's hard for people to understand eating disorders. 2 of my family members have them. Regardless of an eating disorder, you should never comment on what another person is eating. Like ever. Someone wants to order a salad. Cool. Someone wants to order a pizza. Cool. She should have been respectful of you. Good that you stood up for yourself. Not the idiot. Your friend should not be talking about what you eat as a joke, because it's not a joke to you. If they don't want to have a discussion about your struggle with disordered eating, then that is one thing. It's a difficult conversation. But they shouldn't bring up the subject and then get angry when you speak back honestly.